Hey, what's going on, family? Welcome back. So first things first, let me start by saying thank you. Thank you for making the decision to start the program, the Winter Wellness. And I'm excited to share the knowledge with you all. It's actually perfect timing transitioning from fall to winter. So in Chinese medicine, and Tai Chi is part of the traditional, notice I said traditional, it's part of the traditional Chinese medical system, some system, depending on the system. But way back in the day, the ancients used Tai Chi, Qigong, herbs, acupuncture, acupressure, Hua, they use, you name it, a long list of different types of ways of helping people to stay healthy. Not only to stay healthy, but to also to heal themselves from various ailments. So with that being said, I'd like to give thanks to not only you, but to those who've actually left these arts behind for us to use and to pass on to our loved ones. Winter Wellness. So Winter Wellness deals with the element of water. You see, the ancient ones, they were very in tune with nature and the way that things work throughout the universe. And various exercises, various movements, various ideals are based on what they call 5 elements. Fire, water, wood. Early back in the day, ether was there, right? You don't see ether as much anymore, but that's also important. The water element specifically is going to put us into our kidney area. Also, if you're thinking about your kidneys, if you think of the anatomy of the kidneys have an attachment. Both of them, right? From the small of the back, the kidneys. They both have, I'll say, a very close connection with the adrenal glands. So the adrenal glands are attached. So that's going to give us fire and water. So think of adrenaline, right? Fight or flight. That's going to deal more with the fire element. You'll notice right away from the few exercises that we're going to begin with today, because actually there's a long list of various exercises. I'm going to structure, or I have structured this program, this system, so that we follow the traditional way. And what I mean by that is I'm focused on sharing not a lot of information in a short period of time, but very important bits and pieces of information that will be part of the journey over a long period of time. So we're going to go step by step by step. That way you don't feel overwhelmed, and also you don't go away with just a surface level of understanding. I want you to take these exercises into your body, to embody these exercises so that you can see the true benefits that I've seen from my practice. So let's not prolong with any more lengthy conversation. Let's get right into it. Important thing for any exercise, I'll say anything that we do in life, is posture. We want to have our feet about shoulders width apart, your natural shoulder, inside shoulder. We want to also make sure that our body is as relaxed as possible. In other words, we want to do our best to alleviate any excessive contractions of our muscles. And if we slightly bend our knees, we'll begin to notice that our body settles down. The tension begins to, I like to say, it just begins to dissolve or melt down. And that's our goal. So slightly bend your knees, and you'll feel the tip of your tailbone make an adjustment. We want to make sure that the tip of our tailbone is not going too far forward, that's too much, and not too far backwards either. We'll talk about the reasons why later. We want to be in the middle, right in the middle, to the best of our ability, okay? Also, I want you to imagine that you're adding about 4 ounces of weight on the tip of your tailbone. Now, the reason that I say that is when you add that 4 ounces of weight, basically you're putting your intention into that space. You're able to open the space about L2. So this is where L2 is. I'm talking about your vertebrae, your lumbar. If this was my belly button right here, there's a reflection point back here. That's about L2. That's a very important space for us to keep in mind. We call that space the Ming Men. Ming Men. Mingmen. You can look it up and get a lot of knowledge just on that one point. I'll tell you this, it's also known as the gate of life. So just from the name alone, it must be pretty significant. I mention that space because we want to make sure that that space, the Ming Men, is as relaxed as possible. And when you do that, go ahead and put your hand back there and feel that space in the lower back. Not too high. Remember, right behind your belly button, a reflection point. Feel as your tailbone go down. Feel it correctly, and then feel it incorrectly so you can see the difference. So overtuck it and feel how it reflects in your hand, and then bring it in the middle, and then go back. I want you to feel that because it's very important. Now, once you establish that feeling, I want you to hold on to it. We want to do our best to keep that space in the Ming Men. We call it filled in. So not with a pressure, but remember that little 4 ounces tip that I just gave you on the tailbone? It's gonna help. That's gonna help the Ming Men to be put in the right place. So they call it activating the Ming Men. Okay? Now, remember earlier I mentioned that we're dealing with the water element. I mentioned the kidneys and the adrenal glands. There's 2 more important points that I want to mention in regard to this exercise, or these exercises. On the bottom of both of your feet, right? They're like mirrors, they reflect each other. So if this was my left foot, this is representing my left foot. This is representing my right foot, right? My hands are representing my feet. Big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. If you take your third toe and kind of bend it down, that point that it touches, that's the point in your foot. That point, or those points, are called the bubbling wells. It's like a well that's bubbling. Very important. We're going to work on activating those points right now. Shoulders width apart. Relax your arms, relax your shoulders, relax your body, relax your mind. I want you to take a big deep breath in, diaphragmatic breathing, breathing with your belly, this space around here. As you inhale, I want that space to inflate real big, all the way around. In through your nose. So we're nostril breathing. And then out of your nose. Now the breath, although I say a big breath, I don't want you to, you should be inaudible. You can't hear your breath. So it's a big breath, but it's not a maxed out capacity. Maybe 70% of your capacity. Big breath in, and then big breath out. Let's do that again. Big breath in, and then big breath out. We'll go one last breath. Big breath in. As you take a breath in, I want you to feel the body go in motion. Begin to come forward. The arms are coming up. And notice my heels are lifting off of the floor. My palms are down. I'm breathing in. And then I'm breathing out. And I'm coming down slow and gently. Placing my heel on the floor. And also, my hands at this point, they make a fist. Both hands become fists. We'll go through this again, okay? Both hands become fists. As both hands become fists, the tips of your toes, the balls of your feet, they begin to lift off of the floor. So you get this rocking action. Now notice this. When I rock, I don't stick out my tailbone. I still want to keep that same structure that we worked on earlier. It's challenging for sure. Now, let's continue. Forward. As you go forward, flex your wrists. Flex your wrists. Come up on the balls of your feet at the same time. Your crown point, the very tip of your crown, imagine pushing your crown point through the ceiling as you flex your wrists. That's a breath in, by the way. And then as you come down, that is a breath out. Release the wrists, make a fist, lift the toes. Don't stick out the butt. And you may lose your balance. That's perfectly okay. Don't worry about it. The objective is to lift those toes as high as possible and focus, and you won't lose your balance as much later. Okay? Now, again, inhaling, going up. Lose the fists. Engage your calf muscles. Feel into your hips, pelvis, and waist. Feel, F-E-E-L, into that space. Now, as you exhale, and my hand represents my foot once again. I'm on the tippy toes here. As I begin to come down, I want to feel all of the points on the bottom of my foot coming across the floor. Because on the bottom of the foot, remember, the bubbling well's there, right, on the foot. But there's also numerous other acupressure points on the bottom of our feet. This exercise is phenomenal. So the bubbling wells, once they become activated, they become what we call the bubbling springs. At that point, you would have activated the energy points. You will begin to feel that chi rising up your legs. Keep going, don't stop. Give me a couple more. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, rolling the foot onto the floor, releasing your wrists, lifting your toes, dorsiflexion. Toes down, plantar flexion. Toes up, dorsiflexion. Now, making one small modification to the movement. As we inhale, coming up, flexing our wrists. Make sure that both knees, make sure you listen carefully, family, to this one. Make sure both knees are softly bent, because as I come up, I'm straightening my legs. But I want you to softly bend your knees with intention. And at the top part of the movement, relax your body mass and allow it to just drop. Did you see how it dropped down? If my knees weren't bent, I would shock my knees. We don't want to shock our knees. We want to pump the bottom of our feet. As they drop down, they send an energetic expression through the bone marrow in the legs, activating the bubbling springs. Make sure your knees are bent. And with this up and down drop, we'll do a couple more. With this up and down drop, you're going to feel your organs, your organ system inside. You're going to feel them shaking from the drop. This is giving yourself also an internal massage. Pretty simple. Let's go. Only need to do three to six of these particular drop downs. Okay? The other one that we did without dropping down, you can do 18, 36, work your way up. Okay? But the drop down itself, 3 is plenty. Once you get used to 3, go up to 6. Don't rush yourself to go any higher than where you are. Stay at 3 for a while. So here we go. Inhale, rising, crown point going up. Flexing your wrists. Softening your pelvis, hips, and waist. Exhale, drop. With knees bent, making a fist. Toes are off of the floor. And remember, lift them high. You may lose your balance a little. It doesn't matter. We got one more. Inhale. Remember, we're nostril breathing, no mouth breathing. And then exhale, drop. Make a fist, lifting toes. And release back to center. Very good. Follow me through this one breath. So, just to gather ourselves, take a big breath in, reaching out to the sides. Relax your chest. Inhale, like holding up a big ball. Bring the ball towards the center, squeezing it. And then exhale, following it down. We'll do that again. We do that particular breath in between the dedicated exercise that we just did. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, down the center. One last time. Inhale, feel the water rising, water rising. And then exhale, water showers down, showering down. Let's add that to it for one more breath, just like that. This is the water. We're lifting water as if we could. With a deep breath in, compressing water to center and showering down. All the way up. Very good. Now, as I said earlier, my intention is not to have a lot of different exercises at one time. That's not the way it works. This next one deals with our lungs. So once again, remember the winter season, the winter element, our lungs, very sensitive to cold weather. And this particular exercise that I'm going to teach helps us to strengthen our lungs. Most people never thought about strengthening their lungs unless probably they were sick, right? So strengthening our lungs, and also what they call to tonify our lungs. We're going to help our lungs work more efficiently with this exercise. So the lung channel, it's like I say an imaginary line, okay? Imagine that line running along the arm, coming in and stopping right along in here. This is my collarbone, my clavicle. We're going to just focus on that, okay? I want you to extend your arm out laterally. Eventually, both of them will be like this. I'm going to walk you through the way we set this exercise up. So, don't do it yet, just follow me. Arms stretched out to the side, about shoulder's height. Your index finger and your middle finger, very important for these because they're on that same line for the lungs. We're activating that channel, okay? Take your index finger and put it over top of your middle finger, not the other way around. Index over middle finger. Now your pinky finger and your ring finger, they fold down and the thumb goes right there on the knuckle of your ring finger. Got it? So we call this particular hand gesture, it's a variation of sword fingers. Sword, S-W-O-R-D. Yeah. This is a variation. This is the one that we use inside of the Temple Tai Chi system, okay? So here we go. Both arms, not yet, will be stretched out to the sides. You will be breathing in through your nose, but out of your mouth. A little different this time. Notice the stance is about the same. Knees are bent. You'll be breathing in through your nose, still inflating the belly on the in-breath. You'll be lifting your shoulders on the in-breath, lifting them real high, high as you can. You'll also be simultaneously lifting your head up and looking up at the ceiling, the sky, the roof, whatever it may be, while the shoulders are still in the upward position. Your eyes are also looking up and behind you. This is considered the top of the movement. Once at the top of the movement, you take a breath out of your mouth. Now, this breath out of the mouth has a specific sound element involved. The So I'm pushing the air between my teeth, making the S sound. Not shh. It's not shh. Not SH. It's just S. Like imagine if you were to put a hole in a tire, the air seeping out of the tire. The S. Now we're going to put it all together. And I want you to keep in mind, once again, now this exercise is super powerful. You may feel lightheaded or short, or a shortness of breath. And if you do, take that as an indicator that you should take a seat because you may be getting lightheaded because you've gotten over oxygenated. And it happens to the best of us. Doesn't matter. It can happen at any time, any day to anybody. Just be aware of that and take a seat. And then that'll subside and then you can get right back into it. And then monitor your breath. Maybe don't breathe as deeply in the beginning until you get used to it. Now, once again, 3, 6. You don't need high reps with these. Ever. I never do more than like 9 max. All right, so here we go. Follow me through this one. And like I said, this one is called sword fingers. Let's get our posture right. Let's get our mind right. Let's get our breath right. So hand gesture, index over middle, remember? Index over middle. The other two fingers, the ring and the pinky finger, fold down, and the thumb is on the knuckle, right about the second knuckle of your ring finger. Now the arms begin to transition out laterally. You should do these every day if you can. They don't take long. Deep breath in. Lifting shoulders, lifting head, rolling eyes back. Still breathing in. Hold your breath at the top for 1, 2, 3 beats. And then release the fingers, the gesture, on the way down. Flat palms, no finger connected, on the way down. All right? Make the fingers again. We'll only do 2 more. Deep breath in. Don't lift the arms up like this. They're still out to the side. Exhale. Make sure your knees are bent whenever you're standing for a long time. I want to make sure you have good circulation, okay? Do your best. Relax your shoulders. Relax your shoulders. Extend out to the sides. Reach out through your fingertips. Stretch out. Open up the body. Make the hand gesture. Sword fingers. And you know the routine, you know the drill. Let's go for it. Your breath, real nice, long, deep breath. Don't force it. Hold it at the top. Open the hands. Turn the palms over, relax your shoulders. Almost done, family, almost done. Make a fist with both hands. This is part that concludes the exercise. We have a fist with thumbs out. Roll your thumbs forward and down. Roll your shoulders over. Inhaling, rolling your thumbs up and back. Exhale, forward, thumbs go downward. Stretch out your spinal column straight up and down. Feel your tailbone. Check in with your posture. Last one, only 3. Inhale, big breath in. Roll your thumbs. Roll them back. Push out your fists toward the sides. Relax your chest. And roll forward. All the way forward and down. Last time. And from there, let the arms slowly go down. Well, once again, family, thank you all for joining us on this winter wellness journey. This is just the beginning, but we have taken flight. Thank you very much. Sifu Lester.